All righty, good afternoon. How are you doing? Before we get started, I want you, as our audience, as our AAF, and as our supporters, to give yourselves a round of applause for your support this season. Thank you so much. To our media who cover us, I want to thank you as well for your coverage of A&T athletics. Really appreciate your dedication to covering A&T football, and we are looking forward to our last game of the season. North Carolina A&T will travel to Elon to take on the Phoenix, which has become a local rivalry recently. A&T is coming off a loss to 12th-ranked Monmouth, and we will wrap up the season in Elon, North Carolina. But here to tell us all about it is our head coach, Mr. Shawn Gibbs.
Good morning. Like always, I'd like to thank God, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for all that he has done and all that he will continue to do. Let me start by saying this. I'm tired. I'm tired of coming up here week after week and saying the same things. But, as the head coach of this football team, I understand that's my responsibility. I have to own the way that we're playing, and quite frankly, it's embarrassing. But I'm fully committed to changing this program for the better. But I also got to come up here today and speak from the heart. In today's college football climate, we don't get years to figure it out. Coach Callahan at Monmouth, he's been up there 33 years. And I know I don't have that kind of time, and I understand that. And I know very well that next year must be a much better season. And I embrace that challenge. But, my concern has never been next year. I'm not a person that operates like that. I believe in the now. So every week this season, my only concern has been doing whatever we can do to try to defeat our opponent, because I believe in getting it done now. And I believe that we can, and we could have gotten it done now. But to get this program to where we need it to go, we need coaches and players who are ready and who believe that we can get it done now, not later, and not when things settle, or not when we get our players in here, but get it done today, get it done now. See, I need guys that are concerned about beating Elon this week rather than thinking about what school they're going to transfer to next season. And I'll tell you the same thing I told them yesterday. If you're not all in, if your mind and your heart and your soul are somewhere else, then leave. Go ahead and leave now. You got enough film, so, stop faking it. I can't stand fake love. I want to go forward with people that love A&T, that are proud to wear the logo, that are proud and want to represent this university, that are willing to fight for this university every single day. And I don't stand up here. What I'm saying is not out of anger. It's honesty. It's passion. It's belief. Because I believe in this place. I believe in what A&T stands for. And I believe that we can turn this around with the right commitment, the right buy-in, and the right pride in who we are. We owe this university better. I owe this university better. And with humility and urgency and accountability and with a fire to get it right, we're going to build this program into something everybody can be proud of, and the program A&T deserves.
Coach, based on what you said there, do you believe this situation, this year's program has had less buy-in than your previous stops, especially at Fort Valley State, even when you came here, Coach Broadway?
100%. I mean, it's not even close when you're talking about less buy-in. The reason, I don't know, and I can't blame anybody else. You know, I'm the head coach, so I got to take full responsibility for it, and I got to figure out what I got to do to get people to buy in more than we've bought in. And really, you know, my expectations, of course, is always to try to win each and every football game, but at a bare minimum, I expect people to come out and give everything they got for their teammates and for this university each and every day. And I don't know if that's been the case. It hasn't been the case when you've given up 60 points 4 times and more points at home than any team in school history. That hadn't been the case.
So, honestly speaking, how much of this can you salvage and use as a foundation for the future, or do you just need to nuke everything and kind of start over?
Well, there are guys in our program that are committed and that love this university and love their teammates and want to see us do better. And then there are guys or people, I just don't want to say just players, there are people involved in our university that don't. And so what I can tell you is if I believe that you're not bought in and you don't want to see this university be everything that it can be, you will not be here next year. And I don't care who you are.
On that note, can we kind of expect to see some personnel changes heading into next season?
Were you talking about on Saturday?
Not on Saturday, just in the future, perhaps when the off season's officially starts.
Oh yes, it'll definitely be. It'll be. This program will look different next year from a personnel standpoint.
And just for the lay person, myself, how does the exit interview process work? After Saturday's Elon game, I guess you guys will meet with the team, and then I guess each individual player and coach. So I guess, can you just give us a nutshell of how that process works for you?
I mean, it's exactly what you said. On next week, we'll sit down. We'll have a final team meeting, and then we'll schedule individual meetings. We'll start with the coaches, and the coaches will have their evaluations, and then after that, we'll go with the players position group by position group, and have an exit evaluation and let guys know who will be coming back and who will not.
And I guess as a time frame, we got this new transfer portal window. Does that affect your decision making on assistant coaches, knowing that you probably need to get some guys in maybe sooner than you previously would have had to if you made an all-season move?
No, I'm gonna make the right decision for this university. I don't care about no transfer portal window or anything else. Only thing I care about is having the right people involved with this program, people that are dedicated to helping North Carolina A&T become what it's capable of being. And if I don't feel like that's you, then you will not be here.
What do you feel like needs to happen for this team within the next week, just before this Elon game?
Well, we got to have people go over that's going to play for North Carolina A&T. Can't have individuals. If we go over with a group of guys that are committed to beating Elon and we lose the game, but I know that those guys are playing for each other and playing for North Carolina A&T, then I can learn. I can understand that. We can learn from that. I can accept that. But what I can't accept anymore is guys that are playing for something other than North Carolina A&T and for your teammates. Tired of it. That's how you give up 60 points. We can sit up here and blame whatever we want, schematically or anything like that. We don't have a bunch of guys that want to fight for each other. Now that's not taking anything away from Monmouth. Hats off to them. That's a really good football team. And that is one of the best offenses in the country. And they would have been even better if they had their starting quarterback. So it's not anything against them. But I just don't feel like I don't feel like anybody should come in and score 60 points on our field.
What do you feel like it looks like, for example, for a player to be fighting for their teammates, to be playing for A&T in the way that you're kind of looking?
You can see it. You can see it. You can look on the sideline. You can see it in their eyes. You know, we have certain guys that after the game, they're crying. You know, it means something to them. You see tears in their eyes as they're walking out the stadium. And then you see other guys that can't wait to go to a party. So, you know, everybody to see, all the kids on campus know, all the fans that's really involved. You can see who it bothers when they come out of the locker room. You can see that. You can see who it affects and who's cool with it and who's only worried about them. Oh, how did I play? Look at my stats. Okay. Maybe somebody will hit me up and somebody will take me. I want them to leave. I want them to leave. I don't care who they are. That's what's holding us back. That's what's holding any program back nowadays. When you ain't got guys that care about their teammates more than they care about themselves. And I'm not against anybody. If we have players on our team that really have a great season and some big-time Division I school comes in and throws a whole bunch of money at it, I'm going to tell them to leave. That's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But when you're just looking to be looking and for selfish reasons and looking for an excuse, those are the guys we got to get out of here.
Is that a unique thing that you see in this program, or is that more of a transactional mindset with this current student athlete now that there's NIL revenue sharing involved?
Well, you know, I think that's kind of like the new reality. But, you know, I mean, I can understand it when you win the 9-10 games, you know, and you balling and you rushing for 1,000 yards, or you got 1,000 yards receiving, or you got 100 tackles, or you got 10, 15 sacks. I can see you looking for somewhere else or looking for that money. But when you looking just because you think you deserve better, or that lets me know you think you better in this place anyway, or wherever you're at. But if you balling out, that's something different. Or if you got a team that's winning 9-10 games, I get it. You win 2 games, what you looking for? And who taking you? That's the most important. Who goes? I wouldn't.
You have a couple of guys I wanted to bring up, like Josh Isaiah. He's somebody that I noticed before the game was holding his team accountable, kind of fired up during the game. Do you have any guys identified that you know are bought in, and kind of what do they mean to the foundation of this program?
Yeah, we got guys that's bought in, like Elijah Kennedy. You know, you can see it late in the game. He's got tears and he's trying to fight back tears and still play through it. Of course, you know, and that's really what really bothers me is, you know, the seniors. Of course, they're bought in. Of course, Corian Sharp and Aaron Harris and Andrew Brown. You know, of course, those who set a CAA record for 3 50-yard field goals in the same game. Of course, they're bought in. But it's the other guys. You know, you need help. This is the greatest team game in the world, greatest team sport in the world, and you got to have pretty much everybody bought in to play at a championship level. But to even be a good team, you got to have the majority of the guys bought in and willing to be selfless. So we got some, and we're gonna find some more, and we're gonna build because you know I know they're out there. They've been here before, and we'll find them again.
Played 2 quarterbacks last game. Started off with KJ White again, and then you introduce Nelson Lane back. Do you feel like you have a general idea on your overall quarterback room, what everybody's capabilities are, and do you foresee yourself adding to it? I know you got 6 guys still on the roster. You see yourself bringing someone in?
No. If somebody leaves, you know, then we would bring somebody in, but we don't need to add any more quarterbacks to our room. We got enough. And then you ask if I feel like I know what guys are capable of. I really don't know what, you know, like I'd like to see Nelson throw the ball a little more and see what he can do outside of being, we know everybody that plays us knows he's a dynamic athlete, but I think he can be a pretty good passer too. So I'd like to see a little bit more from him. We're going to see more from him at quarterback on Saturday and him just playing the position rather than just having a package. But we've seen Kevin, we know what Kevin's capable of. I think we have an idea of what Braxton's capable of. So we got an idea, but I don't think we need to bring in another quarterback. I think we got quite a few guys that can get it done. Now it's my responsibility to make sure that we get these guys coached up and that they keep growing and maturing, because we'll have all of them back next year.
And question on that is, I know you don't want to make excuses or go back and everything, but if you look at that fateful night in Orlando, and you lose 3 quarterbacks in one game, how much different do you think this offense might look this year if that game did not?
I mean, honestly, like you said, I don't want to make any excuses, but I think anybody knows we would be further along if that would have never happened and we'd have gave some guys to continue to play some. I felt like Braxton was really kind of coming into his own during that time. And so to lose him, we lost a chance for him to develop. So, and I think he's a really good quarterback. So yeah, it did affect us from a development standpoint, and I think our offense would be further along because it starts with the quarterback. But I don't know if those guys stay healthy and we protect them like we've been protecting, they're gonna get hurt anyway.
Coach, what do you think is the biggest thing you guys can learn from this game Saturday?
Which one? Monmouth?
No, the one this coming Saturday.
Oh.
Against Elon.
Well, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what we can learn from it afterwards. I know going into it, I think we need to approach this for what it is. I heard their head coach say, this is like a rivalry or rivalry like. To me, they're right down the street. We're in the same conference. They're not a rival, then who is? So, we need to go over there like we're playing against a rival with the intensity that's required, because I want it to be a rival. It's right down the street. I think it's a great thing for the community. Of course, a friendly rivalry when we go out and really compete against each other, and then, after the game, everything's good. But we need to go over there and try to win this football game. And they're playing for a lot because they have a chance to have a non-losing season if they win on Saturday. So I'm gonna encourage our guys. Let's hate. Let's be a little hater this week. Keep them from achieving that.
Yeah. And with the mindset of a rivalry and showing a little bit of hate, how do you manage those types of emotions and still keep the team composed during the game?
Well, I mean, I think it's just about discipline as far as keeping the guys composed. We just have to be disciplined. But for it to be a rival, we got to make sure we got guys playing that love A&T first. Because if you love A&T, then you're a defender when we go over there. If you don't, then it's just another game to you.
Yeah. And I know we talked about personnel changes and things like that, but you talk about this being the last game. This is the last time that this group of players will be together. So what is your favorite part about this group of players?
The seniors. I got emotional on Saturday, and I was cool until Wesley Graves came out, and then it just kind of hit me because I was here when he was a freshman, and so to see where he's come from, and Charlie Dixon, because I was their position coach, and now to see those guys graduate, I don't know what it was, but it was just something about seeing those guys that got me emotional. And then of course, Jameson proposed to his girlfriend. So I'm like, and I recruited him. So I'm like, man, this man getting married. I'm getting old. That was the first thing I was thinking. Jonathan Cannon, I coached his father, and now he's out there, and I'm with John's senior day. So it was real emotional. And, I got a deep relationship with a lot of those kids. And so, that's where a lot of my passion comes from, is because I wanted to send them out the right way because they deserved it. And I failed at that. So, my favorite part is the relationships that I have with the seniors.
Thank
Coach, win this upcoming week, you'll be 2-0 against your in-state conference opponents, Campbell and Elon. Does stuff like that matter on recruiting? trail?
Absolutely. 100%. It matters on the recruiting trail. It matters personally. You know, it matters to our program. Like, you know, you want to win in state. And so, you know, that would be something great that we could say that's something to fight for. We beat our 2 in-state schools and we beat the other HBCU in the conference. That's a step in the right direction. Nowhere near where we want to be, but it's a step in the right direction. And it will show some kind of growth. So yeah, that's something else that we're going to be preaching. But it's all about how we prepare, how focused we are, and how much love we're willing to play. I mean, it's the last time this team will ever be together. So if these guys mean something to you, then we'll come out and have a great week of preparation, and we'll go out and compete our butts off on Saturday.
Speaking of Jameson, I talked to him after the game, and he said that it was actually your idea to propose on senior day. What do you remember about that conversation, and what did it just mean to you to get to be a part of that experience?
Yeah, well, he was asking me, like, you know, when he should do it. And I was like, well, you know, I said, Brandon Parker, he proposed to his girlfriend on senior day. And he was like, for real? I was like, yeah, I think that'd be good. Do in front of everybody. That'd be something that she never forgets. So he was like, okay. And then he finally decided to do it. And he was nervous when he was about to walk up there. He was like, I don't know what to say. I said, man, just speak from your heart. And he got down on his knee. And so, you know, that was pretty cool to see.
Big news over the week was another transformative gift from Mackenzie Scott. I think $63 million university, and I think it was reported it's going to be unrestricted. Has there been any conversations on some of that money to be used towards athletics and specifically the football program?
No conversation with me. I hope so. I hope so. We sure could use it. But let me say this, and let me make this clear. Do we need better resources for our football program? Yeah, absolutely, 100%. But the thing that we got to understand, the number one thing that we need in our football program is the most valuable resource, and that's people. We need the right people. We need people that care about North Carolina A&T. We need people that want to see North Carolina A&T be the very best. We need people that believe North Carolina A&T can be the very best. So if we can get the right people, and then we can get some of that bread, that $63 million, yeah, then we'll be on the right path.
One of the people who played well this whole season, Andrew Money Brown, is, in your opinion, is he first ballot A&T Hall of Famer?
I mean, if you're the greatest at your position, how are you not? I don't think it's a debate, you know, on who the greatest is. He's one of those clear-cut greats. So absolutely, in my opinion.
I'm sure Brian keeps track of stuff like this, but are there any more statistical milestones that he's close to getting heading to his last game that you guys are cognitive of that you can try to set up?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm sure Andrew is aware of them, and we'll get with him and Brian and see if there is anything, because if there's something that he can achieve and the opportunity presents itself for us to put him in position to do something else that's great, because I didn't know till this morning that was a CA record with the 3 field goals over 54 yards. But, you know, the guy's amazing. And I keep saying, like, why hasn't he gotten a Legacy Bowl invite? There's a kicker better than him in HBCU football? Yeah, show him to me. I'd like to see him. But, yeah, any records we get close to, if we have a chance, we're going to do our best to make sure that Andrew can break that, because he deserves it, and he's had a phenomenal year. Without him, things would have been even worse. So thank you, Andrew.
It seemed like during the second half, the game was kind of out of reach. In third downs, were you just, I'm not saying not trying to score a touchdown, but were you more wanting to give Andrew a shot at that point in the game? Is that what I said?
No, I wasn't wanting to give him a shot. I was not. I was trying to score. And if we would have had probably, you know, a fourth and short, then we might have gone for it. But but there was no hesitation on some of those fourth downs. Like, man, let's go ahead and take these 3 points, because that's a good feeling when you get on your 40 and you already got points. We just can't mess it up. But that's also been an emphasis, to our quarterbacks and to our offense, and I call that the gold zone from the 40 to the 20. We're in field goal territory, so we can't do anything to get out of field goal territory. We don't need to we can't have any pre-snap penalties or take a sack and get us out of range. So we know we got points. We got to make good decisions. And that's a great luxury to have when you have one of the better kickers in the country, and he's good from 50.
But I know it's been a tough process for you this year, a lot of frustration. How, if you don't mind me asking, how's your family been dealing with this with you, and what type of support have you been getting at home in this process?
I mean, well, my wife is unaffected, and I have a 10-year-old son who all he wants to do is go outside and play basketball. So the pressure doesn't bother them. They like coming to the games, and they've always been extremely supportive. But what I try to do is not bring my issues home to them and my frustration home to them, because they haven't done anything. But I think they've handled it great. They're glad to be back home, and son's happy to be around his friends, and my wife is happy to be back closer to her friends. And this is a more familiar environment. So, now I just got to go to work so I can keep them here.
My last question, I promise. Throughout the holiday season, people making their Christmas wish list. I know you said players and culture and all that, but just physical, like tangible things. Is there any short items on a wish list that you would like to ask Santa for this football program?
Yeah, I would. That's a couple. I would like a 6'2", 225-pound running back that can hit home runs, and same 6'3", 230-pound receiver, and catch jump balls and run past people. Some 6'5", 300-plus offensive linemen, 6'4", 300-plus defensive linemen. Kicker like Andrew. That's all. That's all I want. But for me, I just want to be thankful for what we do have, and for all the opportunities that we do have, and up until this point, getting through the season without any real serious injuries. So you also have to be, as bad as the season has been, thankful for the good things that have happened. It hasn't been all bad. I just my only wish is for continued health for all of our kids.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Appreciate you. God bless.
Thank you, Coach. I wanted to give another round of applause to Coach. He's come up here every week, been very informative, very open. So thank you, Coach. We fortunately had a young man named Tariq Cohen who scored about 59 touchdowns, so he has a scoring record on lock, looks like, up top. But hopefully Andrew can get us some more points on Saturday. Please get in line for some refreshments, and then we will start our coaches show. Thank you so much.
National anthem and then
You win.
Hey, thanks to guys, man. Everybody was seeing this the whole season. Oh, great. Appreciate all you do, man. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Take me out. Man, I'm keep blessing, man. Come on now.
I also like to make a question. I do. I also like to make a question. I do.
Come on now.
as soon as she do it.
I've been practicing. I've been practicing. See? I've been practicing. Also, I can be a backup.
I think that would be really nice.
Yeah.
It would be very visual. We would go viral.
We're trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Aren't you popular now? Every time I turn around,
Hey, see, always doing it. Aggies.
okay, so you got to turn that around and do that now.